Hello and welcome to Sunday Sanctuary with me, Sarah. I hope that you're well. Um, Today, I want to talk about connection, and it was prompted by a conversation with a guy that I met in the park. I'm always meeting very interesting characters in the park. If you want to meet some interesting characters, go to the park. So I met this guy, lovely, lovely man, probably in his like mid 60s, maybe. His name was Harry, and he was German. Well, actually, he was born on the border, right on the border between the Netherlands and Germany. And I forget how our conversation started, but he told me that he grew up on a farm, and he said that he absolutely loved it. They had a herd of cows, and chickens, and some little ponies that he absolutely adored, some little Shetlands. And he was telling me that there was a cow that was the matriarch of the herd, because there's always a matriarch to the herd. And she was so kind and so sweet. And his father, who owned the farm, just absolutely loved this cow. And they kept her alive for as long as they could, because they absolutely adored her. And then the conversation came on to how so I told him that I didn't eat red meat. And I think I asked him something like, well, how did you feel when those cows that you loved, how did you feel when they were killed? And he was like, well, it just happened. It was just a part of life. And, apart from the fact that I don't agree with that, that doesn't matter because, we're all going to have different points of view and there isn't a right or wrong, I suppose. Um, it's just, it was so interesting to hear his viewpoint because he went on to say that when he ate the meat of some of the cows that were slaughtered, he would know the cow. And to him, that was very special and important. And he said, I know the life that cow had. I named it. I touched it. I stroked it. I know where it slept. I know that it went outside in the grass. And his father loved the cow so much that he had a fence that he always moved little by little so that the cows every day would have new grass because it made them happy and they wanted happy cows. So they did such things. And also he was telling me that the calves always went outside to play, like they weren't kept in like a lot of big industrial farms. They weren't kept in sheds. They were let outside. But yeah, so he was telling me about this connection that he felt between himself and the food that he was eating. And how now when he goes into supermarkets, he never buys meat because he said, he's so disconnected from what that is. It's just slabs of, flesh, for want of another description, from God knows what. Cows that have been mass produced, and we're talking about lives here. Um, there's this steakhouse up the road from me, and it said the best steak in town, and I was like, really? That was a cow? That was a cow. That was a cow. That was a life. It was alive. They have complex relationships, with siblings and with their children, just like humans. They have the most incredible relationships with those around them. So to just call it a steak is so denying its beingness, its life. So that conversation with him like really touched me, the way that even though he ate the meat, he was telling me about the connection to it, the connection to the animal, and therefore also the connection to the land as well that animal came from. Um, and then that got me thinking about a holiday that me and my husband went on, and we were in this little restaurant in Turkey, and we'd had like a Turkish breakfast before in another place, and you just get this array of like olives and then a pot of honey, and you might have some pancakes with spinach and feta, and gosh, what else? Um, some cheese, and just like lots of little pots of different things. And, you know, it's really nice. But in the restaurant that we went to, the woman came over, and before she placed everything on the table, she said, these olives are grown on the trees just down the road from the old couple that have owned the olive farm for 50 years. And this honey is from a farmer that's just down there, and he's got his own bees. And this cheese is from some sheep from a farmer, which is, you know, everything that she gave us had a story. And there was a meaning behind why she was giving it to us. It too was a product of the land, and also spoke of the care and love of the people that were producing this food for us to enjoy and to ingest. And that food tasted so much better than anything else we had that didn't have a background to it, that didn't have content, you know. And this little video today, all about connection, reminded me of when I was working. The last kind of sales job that I had was in a magazine company, and I was in the sales department, and I used to and the advertising department. I was a sales manager, and I always used to receive lots and lots of information from editorial departments of designer furniture manufacturers, and I would get I would always get this editorial information about different products and releases. And you know how sometimes you can just live the same day over and over, but sometimes like there's something happens, and I don't know why particularly, but it just speaks to your soul, and you can't, like, it just goes in, and it creates a home there, and you can't forget about it. It was just this email that I received, a press release, and it was about a product. And all it said was that it had a picture of the product, and it said how much it was. And it just really hit home. And I was like, well, you know, okay, but who designed it? You know, tell me about the designer, and what inspired the designer to create this product. What would have inspired a designer to create this and want to put it out to the world? What's the story behind it? You know, what's the story? And it just got me thinking. Sorry, this is the last thing I'm going to say on a train of my thoughts about connection. I was thinking about music, and how, you know, when we used to buy music in tapes or CDs or records, we would always kind of get to know the artist more. You know, the artist behind the track, behind the song, and sometimes we'd have like a real insight into what, you know, what they were up to in that part of their life, because in an album we'd have like all the lyrics of every song, and it was so special. And also the artwork that they chose, that they had produced, that formed a vision of where they were at that point. And we've lost that. We're losing connection to the meaning of the world, and then, you know, we have to come back to ourselves. So I was thinking about this. I was like, wow, you know, we're so disconnected. We really are like a surface world. It's all about how things look, but it's not about the content of character. It's not about the meaning, the why. And I think that this is, you know, this is about being human. You know, we've all been in such a bubble that I believe that we're all beginning to come out of. I really do see that and feel that. We're all beginning to come out of this kind of mass, hazy, daisy, busy, go, yeah, I'm fine. Busy. Like all that bullshit, which doesn't mean anything, conversations that don't mean anything. Like, let's just get back to being a human and proper connection again. And that starts with ourselves, doesn't it? There's so much stuff that we, you know, everybody's on their phones, everybody's got earpods in their ears when they're going out for a walk, even in nature. But I guess it just doesn't matter, because the thing is that it matters what we do. So it's about coming back to ourselves and thinking, okay, How can I be better connected to myself? And I do believe that you have to slow down, because that's the first thing that you need to do in order to start reflecting, because you are a story. You know, maybe you have even forgotten that you're a story. Maybe you can't remember the beginning. You know, in a story, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. At least to our human manifested lives, there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. But what's your beginning? You know, because right there, that's where we can delve into connection. You know, because I think at a certain point, we have all lost connection to ourselves. And we have to reflect back to look on why that was. Because also a lot of us have developed a lot of shame, self-hate, um, people-pleasing behavior, and all these things just separate us from ourself. And the self is underneath all of the layers that we've been adding on top of us as we've been very busily going through life and moving forward. And I was looking at this picture of a nest the other day, you know, a beautiful nest that this little bird had created, and it was round. It was a round nest created, you know, from nature. And it got me thinking that, you know, when my puppy was born, Nelson, his tail was in a spiral. And as he got older, it gradually unfurled, just like a fern. And everything is a circle and a spiral. And I believe that, you know, look at the sun, it's round, the earth is round, all the planets are round. When you see leaves being blown by the wind, they go round in a circle. They don't go along in straight lines. Like, we live in houses that are square. Like, everything has become very linear. Time is linear. But the thing is that our life really isn't, it doesn't really go in a straight line. It goes in a circle. And sometimes we might find that we're going back, and a lot of us don't want to go back because we believe that that would be regressing. But it's not true, because on this journey, sometimes we have to go back to get a deeper lesson about something. You know, we might go forward and think, oh yes, I've healed, I've got to this space, I'm not triggered anymore, this is amazing. But you might be triggered more deeply on your healing journey, so that you can go deeper into yourself to gain a deeper perspective of what was happening. Maybe you might even form a deeper perspective of what was going on for another person. So we really are kind of on this circular journey. You know, if you look at a mandala, if you look at a labyrinth, there's a center to it. And the center is the connection point. So with all being said, with all of this being shared about connection, let's find our center. I'm going to do a meditation with you for 10 minutes. I always say I'm going to try and keep it shorter today though. But perhaps after this meditation, you can just reflect on, are you connected to yourself? Think about it, reflect on it, because it's bloody important. Because if you're not connected to yourself, how can you be authentically connected to anything and anyone? It's very easy to think that we are a certain way, but that's thinking. But feeling is very different. So let's get there. Let's do a meditation and connect. I'm just going to turn this light down a bit because it's a bit bright. So I'll just invite you to close your eyes. And let's drop in to the body. Bring back all of the energy, which is your attention that you've spread out to so many different places today, to your kids, to your partner, down your phone. Like, if you can, imagine pulling back all of your energy, all of the focus that you've sent out, and bring it back to yourself in this moment. Bring all of that energy back to you. And imagine that you are spreading that energy out all over your body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Take some nice deep breaths in and out, focusing on the temperature of the air as it goes in through your nostrils, noticing it's warmer as it comes out of your mouth. Focus on the bottom of your feet. And feel the connection between your body and what you're sitting on. So if you're sitting on a chair, feel the parts of your body where you can feel the chair underneath you, or if you've got your feet on the floor, feel the connection between your feet and the ground, your bum and the chair, the bum and the bed or the sofa, whatever it is. See if you can just push your body towards whatever is holding you. Feel the solidity underneath you, holding you. And now I want you to just imagine the ground that your building is on top of. Think about what you are on top of. You are on top of the earth. We're not just walking around on a cement platform, you know. We're on this magical planet, Earth. Think about that. You're on it. Try to connect to that feeling. Maybe in the next few days, you want to get some lovely Christmas plants and put them in some beautiful, rich soil and get your hands in there. And don't wear gloves. Get your hands in the rich soil. This is a really beautiful grounding exercise to just touch the earth, put your fingers in there. Don't worry about your nails getting dirty. You can get a nail brush. But talking of connection, you know, connecting to the earth, connecting to nature, getting your hands in there. And then just watching something beautiful grow from the soil in the next couple of weeks. You can even imagine that you're planting a wish or a dream. You can imagine every time that you're watering it, that you're watering that idea, taking care of it, taking care of your plant as you would your body. And plants are great mirrors, aren't they? I always notice when my plants are looking a bit wilting that I also need to give myself some water. So with that idea of you being connected to the earth, I want you to now put your focus on the top of your head. And with your feet deeply connected to the earth, know also that your head is deeply connected to the stars. I'm sure that, you know, throughout your life, whenever you've looked up at the stars, you feel an intense connection with those stars. Since we were children, we sang "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are." What's that connection? It's magical, isn't it? Whatever it is. Especially now in Amsterdam, and I know in Bath, where my dad is living in the UK, such beautiful, clear, bright skies at night. and the stars, because we've just had a full moon, are so beautiful and bright. Connect to these immense elements around you. And on that note, just thinking about your body, you're made up of all this stuff from the universe around you. The way that we live, sometimes, we're just in this 9-to-5 work culture. Sometimes it seems as if we're made of concrete or something, or that we're not of the earth, but we are. We are. And part of connecting back to ourselves is, of course, connecting back to the earth. Connecting back to what we felt so close to when we were children. And connecting back to the bodies that we were so close to as children. The bodies we were delighted in as children, as we ran around and our legs took us places we wanted to go, and we could pick up things and inspect things. And everything was magical because we appreciated every small thing when we were a child. We were connected to ourselves and we were in the moment. So we were connected also with our environment. And we can connect back as adults. This isn't just a child thing. It's just the way that we've been living has disconnected us from ourselves, from our bodies, from nature, from our nature. So just feel this beautiful moment in your beautiful body. Perhaps just think about what you're grateful for about your body. And the bigger body surrounding you, which is the earth. Interesting fact that human body has the same percentage of water as the earth. What are you grateful for about your body and the earth? And connect with that feeling. Where does that connection happen for you? Feel that now. And at this time that's coming, that's going to be, very busy with shopping and getting all kinds of bits and pieces ready for the kids. And if you don't have kids, just for yourselves and your families and friends. It's so busy, but also know that this is a great time to start tuning in as well. So make time for yourself. Don't be caught up in the rush of everything, because this is a beautiful time for some self-reflection and some inner viewing before going into the new year. This month is beautiful to take it a little bit more quietly if you can. When everything is busy out there, make sure that you can create a quieter place inside of you where you can reside and connect. Hope that you've enjoyed this Sunday Sanctuary. It's a little bit shorter and a little bit punchier. I'm learning each week as I go. Thank you so much if you've showed up and that you enjoyed this. I'd really appreciate it if you could please like this video. It will really help the algorithms to detect me and start spreading this message further. And if this resonates, if you'd like to go further, if you would like to find out what it's like to work with me, then please click on the link on my website. You're very welcome to have a free consultation with me to discuss how we might work together. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.